What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am here tonight with a review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 6, Episode 2, titled Bad Bunny. So you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into the video. Alright, so this episode was kind of lackluster to me. I don't know about y'all, but it was lackluster. So the episode, it opened up where we ended last week, was with April and Moniece sitting down having a conversation with one another. And they were arguing with one another. You know, Moniece talking about nobody's going to tell her about her baby daddy, which I get that. But, you know, April is like a walking contradiction. She's lying, talking about there's nothing going on between she and Fizz, which we all know they're together. Now, here's the weird thing about April. So, you guys, I'm pretty sure everybody saw that live that Moniece posted last week about Just Hilarious. You know, talking shit about April and talking shit about Teeny Fizzlepop. Well, they came back and did another live with they came back and did a live with each other, and they were talking about how they good with each other, they friends. You know, April said that April and Just Hilarious both said that Just Hilarious told April that she talked shit about her. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, so you heard all the horrible things that she was saying about you, but yet instead you still friends with her. And my thing is, when it comes down to April and Just Hilarious, if you got a friend like that, who even needs fucking enemies? Because the way that Just Hilarious were talking shit about April couldn't be my friend, ever. And, you know, they were talking about, yeah, you know, we talk shit about each other, but, you know, we know we're going to be friends again. Okay, I do get the fact that you know, friendships, you break up with each other. Friendship is like it's a relationship. You can break up with one another. But I would never go as far as, if you're my best friend, my close friend, even if we stop talking for a few months, I'm not going to reveal, you know, stuff that you told me in confidence. I'm not going to talk shit about you. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm going to be like, you know what? We were once good friends. I'm not going to talk about my friend like that. So if you got something bad to say about the person, you say it. But I'm not going to chime in. And that's actually happened to me once before. Like, one of me and my best friends, we're not as close as we broke up. Friendship had kind of, you know, went sideways for, it was about 6 months. And throughout the whole process, I never once talked bad about her. You know, but other people that weren't friends with her, they'd be like, "Wow, you know, what's going on between y'all?" I'm like, "I can't tell y'all. Like, that's our business." And, you know, again, I never said anything negative about her. Because we know so much about each other, but I never put her business out there. So for that to happen with those two, like I said, if you got a friend like that, you do not need an enemy. So Moniece was just telling April, the whole thing that with her was the fact that when it came down to, you know, Cameron and Teeny Fizzlepop going to Chicago for Christmas, she did not know about that, and April was under the impression that she didn't know. She's like, no, Fizz did not tell, Teeny Fizzlepop didn't tell me that. And she had to, and I'm pretty sure Moniece had to find out through social media like everyone else did. So then eventually Moniece does apologize to April. She tells her, you know what, I am sorry for everything that I said. And I was happy that she apologized to her, because that was big of Moniece to apologize to her, which she definitely deserved that apology, especially for talking about her saying she extorted her pussy. Like, I thought that was a low blow even for Moniece. So then later on, we see April and go to the studio. She's talking about she's meeting up with an acquaintance. I'm like, we all know who this is. It's Moniece. So, like I said, she's in the studio with Moniece. Moniece is talking about how she's working, you know, finishing up her album. And I'm like, her album? Okay. I'm not going to say anything too much about it, because I mean, I really do. I like Moniece. I follow Moniece on Twitter. So I'm not going to talk shit about Moniece. But, you know, so Moniece is talking about how, you know, she's putting together this tour. And I'm like, wow. Which I remember this. And I was thinking then, who is going to go on tour? Who's going to pay to see Moniece and April on tour? Like, what are y'all gonna do? Like the little jazz bars or something like that? I mean, you could. I don't know if he would sell out, but you could. And you know, so April's whole thing is she wants to talk to Teeny Fizzlepop to get his opinion. I'm like, so if you're not in a relationship with him, why do you need to talk to him about anything? He doesn't factor into this unless you are in fact fucking him, which we all know she is. Like, that relationship is just ass backwards and weird as fuck to me. Now, I get her being apprehensive about it because of the fact that Moniece had just talked shit about her, so I definitely got that part. But for her to sit there and say she got to talk to Fizz, I was like, we got to talk to Teeny Fizzlepop about this. really? Not seeing a correlation, but if April says so, let April do what April's gonna do. I don't honestly care. Again, April just baffles me. I'm not gonna be able to deal with this storyline between Teeny Fizzlepop, April, and even Moniece. I'm just not gonna be able to deal with it at all. And actually, let's speak about them just for a minute, because the opening intro, they kept the same intro from last season, so they still got the same people in there, minus, you know, Tiara, minus Miss Nikki Baby, minus Brooke, and they've added Yo-Yo, they've added April, and they've added Fizz. And I'm like, wow, April and Teeny Fizzlepop, we're adding them to the main credits. Their storyline is that good. They got that good of a storyline, and really, they got that good of a storyline to be main cast members. Wow. And that's saying a lot, Mona. That is saying a whole fucking lot. So then the last thing with April and Teeny Fizzlepop that really kind of irritated and irked me. So we see we see April in the kitchen. She's cooking breakfast. I'm like, are you joking with me? And then, you know, she has on her nightgown. She has on her pajamas, no bra, obviously no panties on, which ain't nothing wrong with that. You're in the comfort of your own home. And then Teeny Fizzlepop comes downstairs, and I'm like, wow. And he's talking about in his interview, talking about, you know, people need to be worried about what I'm doing with April. You're right, people don't need to be worried about it, but you're putting it on display for everyone to see. And then when people comment on it, you want to have a big fucking issue with it about people insinuating that you guys are in a relationship. Just come out and be honest and say, yeah, you know, me and April, we smashing. I'm with her. That's my girl. And what? I mean, you look like a shitty homie to your bandmate, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. So then they do sit down and talk. You know, April tells him that she met up with Moniece. Moniece wants her to go on tour, and then he wants to be shady about her going on tour. And I'm like, you are really one to judge her. At least Moniece does something on stage. What the fuck do you do on stage? Because you just bounce around on the stage. Like, that's all we ever see you do is just bounce around. You have no verses in any of the songs of B2K. Actually, he really has like no verse. He never once rapped, because he was supposed to be the rapper in the group, but he never once rapped. And that Good Lotion song, wasn't nobody checking for it. So then, you know, they're talking about the tour. You know, they're talking about the drama between Raz and the group. And I'm not going to go too deep into that because we all know what the issue is with the Raz and the group. And then he's talking about how, you know, how he hasn't had a conversation with O. And then April tells him, well, you know, Omarion has you drawn up in the court documents. He was like, what am I in the court documents saying? He said that we're having an affair. So Omarion knew about it. Omarion just doesn't really give a fuck. I think Omarion just really more so concerned about his kids than he is about April and Teeny Fizzlepop. And I can't knock him for that. Like, let her live her life and let him live his life. If they want to live it together and smash each other together, let them do it, live it, love it, good. But damn, I just can't get with them. Like, they think people are that really fucking stupid. Like, okay, if y'all say so, if you guys say so. Alright, so I'm going to include K. Michelle and Brittany B together because they didn't really have a whole lot in this episode. So we saw K. Michelle. K. Michelle was having a listening party. So at the listening party, she had Tone there. She had Moniece there. She had Brittany B there. And Moniece ended up bringing, what's her name with her? April with her. Which I'm like, hey, Michelle, so what kind of sister wife shit is this? That y'all bringing each other, you bringing her with you. But if y'all like it, I love it. So then K. Michelle enters everybody to Tone, who is her surrogate. And then they go, you know, backstage. And, you know, again, K. Michelle's just questioning, why would Moniece bring April with her to the, you know, to the listening party if y'all got beef with each other because of Fizz? And then, you know, Moniece says, well, you know, I told you about my tour that I'm going on, and I wanted to invite April on the tour. Moniece, you know, K. Michelle was like, I know you lying. What the fuck? This is like a Family Dollar tour. You two are on tour with each other. Really? Really? And I was with K. Michelle. It's like this. She said it's just that fake Hollywood shit, which I agree with it. Like, I get it. Moniece is trying to, you know, foster peace, but I would not foster peace by inviting her on a tour that I'm going on. That is money. I mean, I get it. You know, you want to break bread with each other, but no, it wouldn't happen with me. Not somebody that I just, you know, verbally annihilated on social media, and then I'm gonna ask her to go on tour with me, and then she supposedly wrote a diss track about me. I'm not gonna be too fond of you, so I'm gonna be like, you know what, April, let's just bury the hatchet, and we're good. But to come on tour with me, no. Now I might say, hey, let's hop on this song with one another. You know, you get your lyric, you get your verse together. I'm gonna get my verse together, and we meet in the middle, and we can do this song together. But as far as a tour, absolutely not. And then, you know, K Michelle's like, well, you know, y'all going on tour, but does Moniece know that you kissed Teeny Fizzlepop? And, you know, April's like, I did not kiss Teeny Fizzlepop. And she said, do you know that for a fact? K Michelle was quiet. I'm like, okay. I don't, you know, people might say K Michelle was messy. I don't believe K Michelle was messy at all. I think K Michelle was keeping it real. That is bullshit that they want to go on a tour with one another. A tour? With what? First of all, what they going on tour with? What music? What music? Where they gonna go? Where they gonna tour at? Is it gonna be like a local tour, like a LA tour? Because I know it's not gonna be a US tour. Can't be a US tour where they go to all 50 states. Because again, you gotta, to do a tour, you kind of have to sell out arena. I mean, you have to sell out arenas, like the arena. Well, they ain't gonna be able to do no arena, but the club is gonna want to make a profit. The only way that they would be able to do a tour together is if they did booking events. So say they go to a club and where they're hosting at the club, and the club says, hey, can you guys perform a song? Hey everybody, we got Moniece here from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and we got April as well, and they're gonna be singing a song for you guys. And that'll be it. Other than that, ain't nobody going to a tour. And again, I love Moniece, but nobody is going to a tour from Moniece and April. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so then we see K Michelle. She goes to the her fertility specialist to get Tone's uterus checked out. Tone's uterus, all good. Now the issue comes with K Michelle. I think he said he had a level 3 of embryos, but he needed a level 7. So what he needs K Michelle to do is he needs her to go through another batch of IVF. And I'm like, damn, another batch of IVF. Like you hear about, you hear about the toll that IVF takes on your body, because you have to inject yourself with hormones, and you have to do it, so many times a day. And I'm like, God, I feel for K Michelle, but she wants these twins. And again, because somebody asked me the question, is she still with her doctor boyfriend? Because I don't follow K Michelle on social media. I love K Michelle, but I can't follow her on social media at all. But, K Michelle gonna figure it out eventually. So then we're gonna move over to Brittany B. So, Brittany B, she is in the studio. The song that she was preparing before Black China came in, I was digging it. I'm like, okay, Brittany B, I see you. So, Black China comes in. Black China's talking about how she's trying to work on her relationship with her mama. I have not watched that show. I do not intend to watch that show. That show, it just looks horrible. Like the way that Tokyo Tony talks to Black China, like, I can't sit and watch that shit, not even for a minute. But, so Brittany B gives her story. So Brittany B says her mom kicked her out of the house. She had to live in her car. But the thing was that her mom was on drugs and she was addicted to alcohol. I mean, I get it. She can't be mad at her mom, but your mom was sick and she had a disease. People who are addicted to drugs and, and alcohol, they do things to those that they love the most. And it is hurtful, but, sometimes it makes you stronger, and sometimes it can, make a person fall down the same rabbit hole as their parents. But I'm so glad to see that Brittany B did not fall down the same rabbit hole that her mom fell down. So that's a good look for her. And we're going to move on, you guys. All right, so next we're going to kind of include stuff with Lyrica and Apple Watson together. So we see Apple. Apple is back this season. Apple has a new set of teeth. And so, she's telling us about her kids. So one of her oldest son, I believe, he's going through, he's having some trouble. He was getting into trouble where they lived at. So she sent him to live with, I think, her sister, she said, and she has her other 2 kids. So then, she goes up to meet with Yo-Yo, who has a school for kids who want to get into the music industry. And we see some kids, we see them performing. So then, she goes and talks to Yo-Yo. And she was talking about. I'm pretty sure you probably saw me wilding all out over social media, and they showed some of the scenes of her wilding out on IG Live. So Yo tells her basically like, I want you to hang around with me. Like I can be your big sister. I can be your mentor. Like I can guide you in the ways of maneuvering in this business, getting your music out there, and putting yourself out there in a positive light. Which I think Apple could definitely use that. Like. Apple is completely rough around the edges, but it might take somebody like a Yo just to be like, hey, calm down on the antics. Don't do this. Don't do that. And, it might just help her progress herself in her career. So then later in the episode, we see Yo. She takes her kids to this airspace in Compton. I guess that they're moving in there, which I was kind of confused. Like, so an airspace, like, is it, because I know an airspace, like, it's really loud. Those engines are loud. So do y'all have, like, are y'all going to have some place, a little area for you guys that is soundproofed? Like, because y'all not going to be able to hear shit in the airspace. I was just confused by that. So then we see Apple and Mr. Ray show up. And then, Mr. Ray, I guess he's invited Summer Bunny down there. I'm like, wow, Summer Bunny. So Summer Bunny says that she's a rapper and a singer. I'm like, oh. So that's what you were doing with, Clutching Pearls, a.k.a. Aunt Faye, a.k.a. A1. That's what you were doing with him? Oh, and that's what you was also doing with Offset, huh? You were trying to break into the music industry. Okay. I'm going to mention this later because Yo said something to her that was real deep, and I really liked what she said, so I'm going to mention it a little later. But, so, she started spinning her rhymes, and when she started, rapping, Apple clapped back at her, talking about, what she's been doing with her mouth and her puss. I'm like, whoa. She don't waste no time going in on her ass. And then that's when they get into it with one another. And Apple just, she went off completely. And I get it. Like, I wouldn't want to be in the presence of a side chick that was with a girl that I'm cool with, husband or boyfriend or whatever. You couldn't put me in the presence of somebody that did that. Because I'd be like, okay, y'all know I'm cool with this. Y'all know I'm cool with Lil Lyrica. And y'all got this trick right here in front of me? Like, really? And I would look at Mr. Ray like, Mr. Ray, for real. You got this girl right here in front of me, but you know that I'm cool with Lil Lyrica. How that look? If she see this on camera, she'll be like, damn, Apple, you supposed to be my girl, but you in the presence of that bitch. I'd be like, yeah, you right. I am in the presence of that bitch. So I definitely got where Apple was coming from. Like, that was fucked up to put her in that position. But I'm so glad she did what she did. Did I want her to fight Summer Bunny? No. But, and then for the fact that Summer Bunny started crying, I'm like, wait a minute. So you crying because she's calling you out on your shit that you've done? Is that what you're doing? Okay. If you say so. Like, the fact that she busted out crying, I could not get with that. She busted out fucking crying. Busted out. All right, so then we're going to move over to Lil Lyrica. So Lil Lyrica has Princess and her friend, what was her name? Sia from Atlanta there. And, Princess is talking about Clutching Pearls, a.k.a. Aunt Faye, a.k.a. A1. So then in a strange turn of events, Princess breaks out crying. I'm like, Princess, this is not about you at all. Because she's talking about she went through the same situation when she was pregnant with, with Melody, with Ray. I'm like, again, this was about Lil Lyrica, not you. But you gonna bust out crying. Interesting. So then Lil Lyrica is talking about how, she said she got herself caught lost in, in Clutching Pearls, aka Aunt Faye, aka A1. And I'm like, you got yourself caught up and you forgot who you were? And she's talking about her music, but I'm like, you put out a whole album named after your sister Adia, which was actually really good. That album was really good. I listened to that album a few times and it was really good. The sad part is with her, she's a talented artist, but she gets caught up and clouded up in this bullshit of the show, that the show overshadows her talent. Because she's very talented. That's the problem with a lot of people on Love and Hip Hop that I see. The show it just takes over their talent. Minus Kirk and Rashida. And, you know, Little Lyrica and Clutch and Pearls, they're turning into the Kirk and Rashida of Hollywood. They are selling out their marriage like it ain't shit. Like, for real. So, you know, she just, so basically what she wants him to do is just be honest with her. You know, because she's dealing with a lot with all the girls coming in her DMs, telling her, you know, what's supposedly happening with her husband. And I get it. Like, you don't want no person coming to you saying, I slept with your husband. Oh, your husband bought me this. Your husband did that for me. I definitely 100% understand it and get it. But, you know, her friend still's like, you know what? We gonna pop up on him when he does his show here. And I'm like, so we gonna make a scene at a concert. Okay. Mona, you good for it, ain't you? So then the last scene of the episode, we see Jigglypuff, aka Mr. Ray, looking like he is ready to be involved in his confessional interview. Damn, that makeup is horrible on him. And Summer Bunny's at the party. I'm like, oh, wow. So we just really just throwing her in the mix already. So she starts crying once again, talking about how people talk shit about her on social media. Well, here's my thing for you, Summer Bunny. If you wasn't sleeping with other women's husbands, nobody would talk about you. If you just took a chick that had a boyfriend, like, say, Queen Naja, her boyfriend, Clarence, they're not married. If you slept with him, nobody would be like, oh, you know, she's a home-wrecking hoe. Because they're not married, but they have a kid together. Like, if you did something, if you was sleeping with somebody who just had a boyfriend and they were not married, it wouldn't be as bad as you sleeping with a married man. You were with Cardi B and Offset. You was in Cardi B and Offset's relationship, their husband and wife. A1 and Lyrica, husband and wife. See the correlation? Husband and wife. And she starts crying, and Yo-Yo told her, like, girl, stop crying. And here's what I was talking about a few minutes ago. So, I love what Yo-Yo said to her, like, hey, if you really got the talent and you got the chops, you if you're really that talented, you don't have to give up the pussy to get anywhere in the industry, which it is true. You shouldn't have to, but there are some creeps out there who will, you know, just because you're a woman, they will say, hey, you got to sleep with me in order to get this track. But if you are that talented, you can tell that producer, that A&R rep, whoever, you can tell them, fuck you, I have the talent. If I gotta sleep with you to get ahead, it ain't gonna work for me. But if you don't have the talent and you just want to get a one-hit wonder, of course you're gonna do that. And I was, like I said, I was just happy that Yo-Yo said that to her, because that was some real fucking factual shit right there. So then Ray and Princess show up, and you know, Ray says, oh, you know the homie Clutching Pearls. And she said, yeah. And Princess like, oh, that's her. Yeah, Princess, that's her, the one that slept with your friend's husband. So, you know, Yo-Yo kind of said, I think Yo-Yo said she didn't know, which I'm pretty sure she didn't know that whole situation. And then we see Little Lyrica and Apple show up to the party. And that is where the episode ended, you guys. So that was the episode. Again, this episode was kind of lackluster to me. It just wasn't really much to the episode. But be sure to like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys later.